Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'm Paul B. He's Buddy to
Hey,
God.
hey,
Fresh edition is happening right now on this Wednesday. Is it Wednesday?
it's Monday.
It's Monday.
It's
Yeah,
definitely Monday.
I'm already I'm
Definitely
already,
Monday.
already messed up on that. Yeah, Monday. February 2nd, 2026 is fired up. First Sky Omaha. In the morning. Money. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Once again, we are here on a Monday, February 2nd,
You sure?
2026. No, I'm not. I'm still not sure, but I'm going to take the risk.
Time.
Thanks for joining us this morning. And we appreciate you getting up early with us this morning. Yeah, definitely is a Monday morning, but in that sense, I do feel like it's a Monday morning. I appreciate you guys getting up. I see Michelle Moreno getting up and saying good morning, everyone. What's happening? What's happening?
Hey.
Also, RG is saying good morning, y'all. Morning, y'all. Appreciate you getting up. Pops says good Monday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. What's up, Pops? What's going on? You're not out and about today, huh? That's what's up. I'm staying in. Heard
Man.
that. Monday, bro. Yep. RG, I'm figuring it out. Marla Harrison says, good morning, First Sky family, and happy motivational Monday. Loving that, loving
Squad.
that.
Squad.
Mama Guy says, good morning, fam. Good morning, good
My
morning.
dudes.
Appreciate you guys getting up early with us, man. Sean McCarthy says, good morning, First Sky Nation. Hope everyone
Like
had a good weekend. Hope you had a good weekend too. Maybe if I can think about what happened this weekend, and I can remember it's Monday. So, yeah, no, I just worked all the way through. So, another weekday for me. So yeah, that's why I'm losing track. How you doing over there, buddy? How's your Monday going?
yeah, off to a little weird start. Like I kind of crashed out last night. Don't remember going to sleep. Just remember waking up like a little discombobulated. But I'm here.
Welcome
Definitely
to adulthood.
man. But feeling rested. Definitely more importantly. Looking forward to today's conversation. We have Sister Tamika coming through. Always enjoy speaking to her. And yeah, feeling good as got some new equipment. So
Hey,
looking forward to playing with my new beat machine, making some new hotness. Other than that, man, yeah, feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
yeah, feeling pretty all right too, man. Just making it happen. Definitely, like I said, working all the way through. This is definitely the time of year that, it's the beginning of the year. So if you're running a business,
Yeah.
you're in there working them QuickBooks and trying to figure things out. Go ahead.
I will say, it seems like the weather we were supposed to get hit with last weekend, we got hit with this weekend, at least mildly. We got some snow flurries
Oh
out
man.
here, some ice out here in the A. So yeah. Keep it warm out there, y'all. Keep it warm.
Yeah. Well, we finally are getting a 40, 30, 40 day situation over here too. So it's finally it warmed up just a tad bit. Don't know how long that's gonna last because it is Omaha, but you know what it is.
Bruh.
We see Mark Banner in the chat saying good morning. Just good morning. Just good morning. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Play at 21984. Happy marvelous
Player,
Monday. You know that's Leg Keister. Appreciate you coming in.
player.
Yeah. We did see the new episode from Swing Left, Nebraska coming up. The podcast Unpacking the Unicameral is always a good show. This is week 5 already. Available wherever you get your podcast. Definitely check this out
Man,
and get a little knowledge on what's going on with the unicameral because there's a lot. There's a lot happening. We're definitely in season right now.
read my mind. A lot to unpack.
Big time, big time. It is 28 degrees right now. If you're in Omaha, Nebraska, it's going to get up to 43 today. So I'll take it.
Brr,
I'll take it.
brr.
It's still a California winter, but I'll take it. Yeah, man, that's what's up. Heather Williams gives us a good morning, everyone. Appreciate you coming on in. And got lots to talk about today. We have a special guest, as you saw at the beginning. Tamika Mease is going to join us here a little bit later on in the show. So definitely tune in and get ready to have a conversation with her. I've been doing so much in the community. It's crazy. And I got some specific questions about mutual aid and how she runs things and does things. So
Man,
there was an incident that went down this past few days where she had to raise some money for some families, and I wanted to kind of pick her brain on how that went. If social media is the place to do that,
mm,
how do people respond? We're still in this conversation about how to meet you guys where you're at and for us to all kind of get together, communicate, and come to some action on some things. So I'm always interested in the people that are successfully doing that.
Man,
So yeah,
teamwork making that dream work.
man, that's what it's all about. It's
Yeah,
all
man.
about. RG said, "Man, Kakalaka is going through it with the snow. Inch of snow
Yeah,
in North Carolina for right now."
yeah, man.
They said people in North Carolina, Florida ain't ready. Some people ain't got no heaters at their house.
It's bad. I remember. I used to live in Charlotte for about a year and a half, and I remember we got hit with a snowstorm so bad that we actually had to move into a hotel. Like they were just
Man,
were, and it was only like 2-3 inches of snow. Like it wasn't anything crazy, but it was enough to basically shut the city down, man. Like we had to sit in the I remember vividly, you know, me, my mom, and my brother in this 2-bed hotel watching Joanna Man like it was yesterday. Yeah, they had to send the snow plows down from I believe West Virginia. So it took a little while to get busy, but
wow.
prayers out to everybody on the East Coast dealing with this. New York's been looking crazy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, if you got people, call them up, see how they doing. That's craziness. Community updates. We'll go ahead and jump into a few of those so we can get this show on the road today. There's lots happening, of course. Biko Kwan's in the house. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey.
First Sky family. He says it's very cold here in Philadelphia and snow is everywhere. Woo.
Yeah, man. Man. Yeah.
Can't imagine. Can't imagine. But first, foremost, let's get rolling on the on this stuff. I wanted to bring these things out first because we've been talking a lot about these bills that's been floating around.
A lot
Friends
of
of
them.
First Sky Omaha, man, big time. Of course, call to action oppose LB 1072. This is this pilling trying to take some money away from the arts, from the program where we have Nebraska Endowment for the Arts, where there's money for arts, even if the federal government wants to hold it back, like the National Endowment for the Arts is not happening. So we have the Nebraska Endowment for the Arts, and unfortunately, they're trying to take money away from that. It's supposed to be state controlled, or it's supposed to be state matching funds, and he wants to
Mm-hmm.
peel the money back from that. So I'm putting these out early because you can still go to the legislative page and write a letter before 8 o'clock. So if you feel like you want to do that, then go ahead and watch the show later. Go ahead and jump off
Man.
and hit the legislator, go to LB's 1072, and go ahead and write a letter opposing that he does this. Another one to oppose everybody's talking about is LB 1071. This bans any policy, program, training, practice, activity, or procedure referencing any kind of implicit bias, cultural appropriation. Of course, he's talking about DEI and so on and so forth. The
Mm.
problem with this is a lot of people who have children with disabilities and stuff like that are in jeopardy of not being able to have funds and help if this goes. So everybody's calling to oppose LB 1071 as well. Again, if you want to jump off the show and go to the legislation page and look up LB 1071 and write a letter before 8 o'clock, highly encourage you to do that. So there's some more information there. Of course, this is the Cultural Preservation Endowment Fund we were just talking
Man.
about. So a few things out there that are happening right this minute that we can check out. But yeah, definitely do that if you are so inclined. Also, we already talked about. We already talked about the podcast. Shout out to Leah Keiser, who does Swing Left Nebraska. And definitely check that out wherever you get your podcast. Also, shout out to DJ Mr. Soul over there at
Hey.
87.9, bro. Stepping into the game in a big way when it comes to the talk. I mean, he's had plenty of talk shows and stuff like that in the past, but he's known for being extraordinaire, DJ extraordinaire out here. OG in the game. Of course, 87.9 is the digital channel that we got out here in Omaha. Huge channel. And if you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out too. You can go get you can go to your app store and pull down 87.9 and listen to it on your phone and everything else. But 87.9, The Culture, is getting down with DJ Mr. Soul. February 2nd, that's today at 3:30. He's got an exclusive interview with Michaela Danner. Of course, she's running for Douglas County Attorney and trying to replace Don Klein. So
Klein.
yeah, I was thinking Shaka Khan song when you do that. Yeah, she's a candidate and is going to be speaking exclusively to DJ Mr. Soul. Shout out to him. Shout out to 87.9 for sure. Man, I'm so glad to see everybody chiming up, having these conversations. It's great. Big time, big time. Also, our friends over at Film Streams is having an event a little later on tonight as well. Shout
Hey,
out to everybody who's supporting this. It's one of those Omaha checkup events that we were talking about the other day with our guest from Film Streams. February 2nd tonight at 6:30 at the Ruth Sokoloff Theater. Aftershock. When a black mother dies, there's a ripple effect.
mm,
Still talking about the health of women. And this is supposed to be a pretty powerful show, pretty powerful movie as well. There'll be some experts from UNMC there for the talk back afterwards. So this is one of those ones that we wanted to promote. Some of those films over there at Film Streams that uses Film Streams as a third space to have some conversations. Definitely highly encourage you to check this out later on tonight at 6:30 if you can. For sure, for sure. Speaking of our friends at Film Streams, we did not put the ticket giveaways in the weekly wrap like we were going to do. We kind of forgot to do that, so we're going to do that now. And these are the movies that they're talking about here that are coming up Thursday, February 19th. There'll be some tickets for Dry Longzo. And this is a film, one of those Film Streams setups that they did for Black History Month. It's supposed to be a pretty good show. If we remember us talking about the other day, but the one I'm excited about is Straight No Chaser, one of my favorite films of all time, featuring Thelonious Monk. That one's coming up a little earlier, February 7th at 2:30, and then there's another showing February 11th at 6:30. If you want tickets to these shows, then what we'll do is have you go to YouTube, like, and subscribe over there. And if you've done that, shoot us an email at firstskyOmaha@gmail. Let us know that you want the tickets. You'll be put into a pool. We'll put it in the thing and mix it up, pull out a name, and then you can win some tickets to these two events. I'll put this information on Friends of First Sky Omaha as well. But that's the criteria. That's what we'll do from now on. We'll do like and subscribe over at YouTube, and then also send us an email saying that you want tickets to these events at firstskyOmaha@gmail.com, and then we'll pick a random winner out of that. So that's what's going on there. Before I jump into any more of those, let me see who's coming in. I see Tamara Dwyer coming in. She says 1071 is an appropriation bill that had that hidden in it. See,
yeah, man. Got
they be
watch
hiding
out.
stuff. Yeah, you got to watch out.
Got
For
watch
real.
out.
Appreciate you coming in this morning. I appreciate everybody coming through this morning as well. Of anything else that I got here that I wanted to show, I think I'll save for a little bit later so we can get to what today's thread is going to be. So stay tuned for that. Again, we have a special guest coming in. Tamika Mease is going to join us a little bit later on. Definitely want to talk to her about the work that she's been doing in a big way out here in Omaha for the people, man. You're talking
Man.
about somebody who's doing something for the people for real. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, between time, buddy, what's today's thread?
Yes.
What's going on?
Yeah, man. Of course, want to start off today's show kind of picking up where we left off on Friday, doubling down on the endowment conversation as you're talking about. Again, one of Nebraska's, funding mechanisms for the arts, which, we're all about the arts, is in jeopardy. And not just that, kind of starting from there and zooming out to the bigger picture as far as what Pillen's doing to make sure Nebraska doesn't go broke, or at least on the surface looking like that, because there's some questions about where the money's coming from and where the money is going. Apparently, there's actually a call to have Pillen impeached. Thanks to those sharing that on Friends of First Sky. We'll definitely have to talk about that. Following the money with Pillen, and also diving into some extracurriculars, not necessarily dealing with the money, but they're still trying to figure out what happened with this teen that was found at the Pillen family farm. So again, a little Trump Jr. conversation, just peeking at to what our governor is or isn't doing, and also setting that up for our Six to Dismiss campaign that we're pushing this year, alongside the Follow the Money. Again, Six to Dismiss is a term that was kind of presented to us, coined by Sister Precious McKesson, but it represents the 6 seats that we have to get about the paint, as the chat chimers like to say. Again, midterms is on the way. Let's get active, y'all. Let's get active. So we'll be talking about that. Of course, what's going on with Pillen. Also, as I mentioned, picking up where we left off on Friday, definitely have to talk about something close to home to us. News Gang. Georgia Ford and Don Lemon getting released over the weekend after being arrested by feds for the protest. Or I don't even know if they were actually protesting or just covering the protest at the church in Minneapolis. Again, if you remember, the priest at the church was a brass, a top official with ICE. Yeah. Now they're saying that was the protest was an attack. Again, we'll talk about what the attack really is as far as our freedom of speech. And then also, speaking of attacks, Omaha still at the center of the fighting world, not just Bud Crawford, but Houston Alexander getting busy over the weekend. I definitely want to talk about what that means for the economy of Omaha. Again, we're still following the money here throughout today's episode. So again, we got a lot to talk about, and we're going to try to dive into it, man. As always, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, missing the mark on some things, let us know. Let us know. So again, dive into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yeah, man.
What's the word?
Yeah,
Word.
just definitely want to give a shout out to Houston Alexander. He won his bare knuckle fight last night. Everybody show Houston Alexander some support. Shout out to Branson Malcolm who put this out. He went into the cage and did his thing last night, walked out victorious again. Shout out to him. If you guys didn't know what was going on last night, this happened. It was a show brought to you by Dynasty Combat Sports that he was really boosting, really posting a lot on, interviewing everywhere, really trying to bring MMA and sports to Omaha, putting Omaha on the map when it comes to this. We'll talk more about champions of Omaha, bringing things to Omaha, putting Omaha on the map. Houston Alexander is definitely one of them. He fought last night, won his fight. The brother been in it for a while, man. They're trying to act like, sometimes be trying to act like he's too old to keep doing it. Keeps on dealing it out, bro.
OG.
Keeps on dealing out. How you're OG and in the game at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
he's one of a kind. One of a kind.
Call that grown man strength.
Grown man, that's right. Grown man strength. Shout out to him, man. If you guys, a lot of people know him as the fighter, but we also know him as the cat that does culture shock, bringing hip hop and break dancing and stuff to kids at school to this day, bro. To this day.
Hey, so, artistic resistance, man.
Artistic resistance, man. Art soldier in a big way, and a champion of Nebraska. So shout out to him. Hey. Congratulations in a big way. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back in. I see Christy Nora in the chat. Good morning. I see you getting busy doing things. How's the campaign going? Let us know how that's happening. I see you got some meetings and stuff coming up with some other folks. Appreciate that. Also, Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Appreciate you coming on in. Yeah, Ariel's 402, Mr. Omaha. You ain't lying. Lying, man. Pop says they were only covering the event.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. We'll definitely be talking about it. And before we go to a break, too, man, I just gotta, California, bro. I gotta give a shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Breaks records for most Grammy wins by a rapper. 26th award. Come on with it.
It's not enough.
He said it's not enough. Shout out, man. And I also want to give a shout out to Lefty Gunplay, bro. That's the first time my man's won a Grammy too through Kendrick. He got up and gave Kendrick some respect. Like put some Latinos on these tracks out here in LA. That's what it is. So shout out to everybody at the Grammys. The Grammys, if you watched the Grammys last night, let us know what your highlight of the Grammys was. I always got a mixed bag with it. I go back and forth with it. Be mad at it, but at the same time be proud. You know what I'm saying? So I heard Lauryn Hill showed up. How did that go?
She did. It was all right. Definitely got the crowd hype. It was rest in peace to D'Angelo. I'll just say that. I'll leave it there.
Rest in peace to D'Angelo. You're never gonna do him all the way justice. He was too much of a legend, bro. He was too much of a legend.
I'll get the best, but
speaking of legends, we're gonna get into it. Like Prince said, dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to dismantle this thing called ICE.
Man,
it's going down. He didn't really say that, but he would have said
that. I don't know. They mess with Minneapolis. You never know.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You missing all my messages over there. It's all good though. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God. You guys
Hey.
did hear the music right there in that break.
Yes,
didn't you?
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
yes,
all right,
yes,
cool,
yes.
cool, cool. Appreciate that. Michelle Moreno said, wasn't the fight Saturday night? Yep, Saturday night went
Yes.
down. Yeah, man. Congratulations to him. Heather Williams says, I enjoyed the tribute to D'Angelo and Roberta Flack. I wasn't familiar with some of the artists though. Okay, okay. Who was on that, buddy? I missed that whole.
The D'Angelo tribute.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a hodgepodge. Let me see if I can remember.
that's the one Lauren
John,
Hill was on, right?
Lauren Hill, Layla Hathaway,
What?
Wow, John Batiste, I think his name is.
Really?
Yeah, he did sing on the piano a little bit. Lucky Day.
Looked like here's Mark Meta chiming in. Shaka Khan was it?
Yep, Shaka Khan, October London. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Raphael Sadiq. Yep.
Man, how did I miss that?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
But it could have been better. You saying?
I feel like it could have been better, but like you said, it's D'Angelo, man. His groove, if you can't catch that groove,
You know, another thing too, man, is sometimes every time you see a roster of heavy hitters like that, it doesn't always come. It's almost like it's a
it
little,
don't.
like you expect a
Yeah,
little more than you're gonna get.
I will say what they could have did better on was the Mariah Carey tribute. That was a little,
Hmm.
yeah, Kesha, like, yeah.
So they didn't have nobody that can sing to tribute her.
Jennifer Hollardson.
Oh, Hallerton. Okay, buddy, I ain't watched the Grammys, the whole Grammys in a while. So
I mean, I
you
didn't
over there in
either.
the
I
music
didn't
business,
either.
you got to watch the whole thing, and Mark Miller
Yeah,
does too. So I'm gonna defer to y'all.
yeah.
Of course, we're seeing bits and pieces. You don't got to watch the whole thing now because you don't get all the clips in social media.
Nah, nah, nah.
Nah, not happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Hey,
But
at least they did it.
yeah, and again, yes, RG Kesha. They had Kesha singing Mariah Carey.
You even
Just
spelled it right with the money symbol.
anyway, I will say to keep this thing going, definitely echo what your sentiment. Giving a shout out to Kendrick Lamar making history again, making history. So definitely shout out to him and shout out to all of you, man. I do want to acknowledge before we get into the show because we do got some things to get into. Black History. We didn't really acknowledge Black History Month, but it is, it is Black History Month. As I appreciate what you said in our book drop. Definitely look out for that this month as well.
Hey.
Book drop takeover with the Omaha Library, collab with First Sky Omaha. Yeah, look out. But on that, you said, I thank you for mentioning that, Black History Month. It's not for us. It's not for us.
It's not for us.
It's not.
It's for y'all to remember.
Yeah, it's for the others to learn about our history and our contributions to this country. But for those who observe, happy Black History Month. If you want to get down, I believe the Green Book exhibit is opening up at the Durham Museum, so definitely check that out. Also, if you haven't already, visit the Visitor Center on the Deuce and check out the Great Plains Black History Museum.
And it's fun. It's interesting. I think I just saw something this morning. 50 years anniversary this year for the Great
Really?
Plains Black History Museum.
Man,
Bertha
okay.
Calloway started. So
Man.
a lot of history there. Man, I ran into Brother Ewing, which is Eric Ewing. This is the mayor's brother. He's the one that runs the Great Plains over there. They got some plans for a new building for it that is coming to the Deuce. So this is we definitely going to talk about the fact that this is the 50th year and so on. This is also the 100th year. The way they're counting about Black History Month here. So it was called what was it, Colored People Month or something back in the day. I can't remember what it was called. 50 years ago, it started to become Black History Month, and now here we are. So some milestones. 50 years, 100 years.
Man,
That's what's up.
celebration.
Big celebration. Kimber Snipes,
So-
good morning to you. Appreciate you coming in this morning. Definitely can't wait to talk to you and get caught up on some things that's happening. Shout out to One Omaha and all the work you guys are doing over there. Appreciate you.
Hey, yeah. So, but let's keep it moving, man. And going, picking up really where we left off on Friday, kind of in the same vein, talking about the Grammys, talking about the importance of the arts, the humanities, if you will, and there's a fight. There's a fight to keep the humanities going, to keep the arts alive, not just nationally, but in our own backyard here in Nebraska. There is a call to action. We're putting out to all of you. Let's get busy. Let's get in the fight, if you will. Shout out to Nebraska Examiner and Paul Hamill for reporting on this. But again, the state's endowment backing arts and humanities program is on the chopping block. Again, this is our starting point of following the money on today's episode, because got to ask ourselves what's going on at the state level with some of the funds. It's even getting to the point of impeachment calls. So let's dive into exactly why. Of course, we talked about this on Friday, so don't want to dive into it too much extensively. But just letting the people know, again, the Nebraska's endowment, as Paul mentioned earlier, is a fund that the state matches, and these funds go towards supporting arts and arts programs. Of course, if you have a child that's in school that goes to a museum on a school field trip, it might have been paid for by this fund, or if they go to the children's museum, or if they, the events in the Miller Park with with the youth and the I forget Logier.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they're paying for some of that, but maybe the state match some of those funds, help pay for some instruments. I don't know if any of you have paid an instrument, played an instrument, but saxophones aren't cheap. Trumpets aren't cheap. So again, big shout out to those who are in the arts. I know, Paul, you have some family members working in the arts with the youth. We need the help. We need the help. We need the help. So again, the state is broke. We've been talking about it, and it looks like they're trying to help close this $400+ million gap by proposing to drain multiple programs, not just this one, but also an environmental trust program that might be getting a haircut as well. But as far as this endowment, again, $15 million going to the state arts and humanities fund that helps, again, provide about $550,000 a year for such programming via investments earning. According to the Examiner article, the endowment was established in '98 at a time when federal funding was in peril for arts and humanities. It's a similar situation today, of course, as the Trump regime, as I'm calling them, via the U.S. Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, reduced federal support for the humanities, a cut that is being challenged in court. So again, the federal level has its own activity, but we do have an opportunity to save some things at the state level, as again, this endowment is a state thing. So it's more of a Trump Jr. call that we have to worry about, as far as not Trump blocking these funds, but what is Pillen doing with the funds? That's the biggest question, not just, as I mentioned, this humanities endowment, but also this Nebraska Environmental Trust, which, again, big shout out to all of you who are followers and subscribers to our weekly wrap up. We put out a survey last year about environmental news, turned out to be one of the top topics that, again, a lot of you care about. And I'm wondering, do you know about this environmental trust? Are we familiar with this environmental trust and what it might mean to lose $40 million? Again, this coming out of KMTV3. Again, this move is a move that could eliminate tree planting programs and impact communities across the state. And Nebraska lawmakers are considering pulling $40 million from the Nebraska Environmental Trust to help close the state budget gap, a move that could eliminate tree planting programs. The Nebraska Environmental Trust, which was created in '92, uses a portion of state lottery funds to grant organizations money for environmental and educational work. The trust supports projects including soil conservation, ecological services, habitat restoration, water management, and waste management, which we all need. Plant Nebraska, previously known as the Nebraska State Arboretum, has used these funds to complete projects in 161 towns across the state over the last decade. Executive Director Hannah Pineo said the projects help communities feel revitalized and create places where people want to live, work, and play. And again, on the surface, we think about planting trees, and it might seem frivolous, but again, having conversations with some of our city planners, the edifice, how a community looks, actually plays a big part in people buying in and investing in that community. If you have fresh trees, if you have fresh greenery, if you have fresh flowers in the community, you might, think twice about throwing that can on the ground. Again, and I know, Paul, you have some thoughts about planting trees and things like that, but in general, the bigger picture, pulling money from all of these programs, and it's not just these programs. We know that education funding is being debated. We know that, of course, child care subsidies are in jeopardy. What say you?
Yeah, good thing to say on the subject of trees. It's not just the beautification of the area too. It's just the health of the land, health of the area in general. A place that is taking care of its environment is going to be a better place all the way around. More like RG is saying, more trees mean more oxygen. That's right.
Man.
That's what's up. Yeah. So this, don't want to stray too far from the point here, which is that there is a deficit in the state.
Hmm.
Pillin is trying to figure out how to close that gap, and it seems like the go-to is to take away programs that most would consider left-leaning programs, and so making it very political. So it's unfortunate. I put the link in the chat to the legislative page where you can write a note. It says basically you can submit a comment online for LB 1072. This is what they're asking to do for 1072. They're saying take action here, write a testimony, contact the committee and your senator. I believe the deadline for it is 8 o'clock. That's why we're talking about it early. If you want to
Hmm.
jump off
Hmm.
the show right now and write a testimony, and click that link and go ahead and drop it there. Cool. Come back and watch the show later. This is pretty important that we look at this particular thing too. And I had a couple things. We talked about this Friday. Some of the things that endowment, we already know that the National Endowment for the Arts has already been threatened and taken away.
Right.
PBS, everything that has been getting benefited from there. Our administration, the current administration, is doing that. But the state really did have a little buffer until Pillin is now talking about trying to take that buffer away. But some of the things that particular bill, that particular money went to is school bus grants, NAC grants that help school fund transportation to students that can attend arts and cultural field trips. Also creative districts, the Benson Creative District, the creative district we're trying to build on 24th and Lake is in
Man.
jeopardy because funds would come from that. Just a couple more here. Speakers Bureau, a statewide roster of humanities talks and presentations hosted by libraries and community organizations. African Culture Connection and Cultural Experiences Program. Asian Community and Culture Center humanities presentations. Places like the Bemis, El Museo Latino, Omaha Symphony. These are all places that are suffering. One that really stuck out to me in 2020, special distributions from the NECE along with matching private support, enabled Humanities Nebraska to award hundreds of pandemic relief grants, totaling more than $750,000 to 153 organizations statewide.
Man.
So big deal that this is they're trying to take money away from that, and of course they are,
Right.
because it's arts and trees. You know what I'm saying? We're such a tree hugging society.
Not just the arts either. I'm also thinking of what this means for arts or history education. I mean,
Right.
because as I'm thinking about it on the national level, I think over the weekend or late last week, Trump, if you remember, moved the slavery exhibit. They removed the slavery exhibit. I think that was in D.C. Um, what pays for those types of things? That can definitely fall under the humanities, if you will, as far as history and things like that. So yeah, as we deal with this regime that's burning books and banning education and basically trying to control the master narrative, you have to think about these things.
Absolutely. And before we move on, 1071, I just dropped that in the chat as well. Again, it talks about DEI and these things, but really the real threat is people that have special needs. And a lot of families that I know that have children that have special needs. It's threatening to take services away that would include that, because they don't want they're always attacking DEI or anybody that needs anything special. They want to attack groups, and that's what's happening here as well. And as somebody stated earlier, I think Tamara Dwyer stated earlier, they snuck it in a different bill. So
Man.
again, here's the link to that. You can go there as well and submit comments online before 8 o'clock. I believe is the deadline here. So if you wanted to jump off now and say something about that, please do. Every bit of testimony helps. Get it on the record and do what you can do, and come back and watch the show later. So with that, we appreciate that. Mama God said they removed slavery exhibit in Pennsylvania. Sure did.
It was in Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah. Marla Harrison says DT is now shouting down the Kennedy Center for 2-year renovation. Yeah,
Yeah, I heard
two
about
year.
that.
Yeah, Kennedy Center was mad about all that. So you're gonna shut it down for 2 years. Arts in humanities, history, and journalism is under attack. So I
Straight
mean,
up.
what else is it but a regime? You know what I'm saying? Like, what else
Man,
is it?
man.
What else is it? Moving on, 7:34 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, I appreciate you. Mark Manner in the chat says, I went and saw Don Flemings this weekend from Carolina Chocolate Drops and watched a black Western with him scoring and learned about black cowboy music at Jocelyn. What? You know that happened?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Black cowboy music. Okay.
That's what's up, man. Also, Marlon Harrison says, shout out for Sinners winning last night. Sinners is now a
Hey,
Grammy won
hey, hey.
award won film. So that's what's up. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I love the fact that we can sprinkle in some of these art soldier
Yeah, man.
ideas around here, and what are we fighting for? But these kinds of things.
There you go. There you go. Artistic resistance, man.
There you go. Appreciate that. We'll take a quick break, come back, and jump back into the conversation. If you are just joining us, we are anticipating special guest Tamika Mease. She'll be
Yeah.
on the show coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. Get your questions ready. Man, we're talking about a coalition building, talking about really doing stuff for the people. We'll definitely be talking to her about her work and how that ties into everything that we are working on. So that's what's up. Stay tuned. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God, all of you
Hey.
chat chimers, ghost listeners, do us a favor. Share the show on your page. If you're on Facebook, it's really easy. And if you're on YouTube, share the link. Like to get as many people in the conversation as we possibly can. So
Yeah,
in the
man.
meantime, between time, stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. Don't you go nowhere.
Just make it.
Welcome back. First Sky
Hey.
Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy to God.
I like that jam.
Don't ask me what that track was, bro. I just hit a button and it started playing. So
I like that. I like that.
I guess
Find
shout out
that
to Aki
AI.
Kid. Aki Kid got stuff we ain't even explored yet.
Ooh, okay. Aggie.
I like that one, huh?
Yeah,
What's that
yeah,
on there?
yeah.
That's what's
It's
up.
just them horns. Anyway.
Accidental track. That's what's up.
Man.
Appreciate that. Brother
Happy
Pena Valadares is in the chat. What's going on? He says, who saw the fight? Who saw
Man.
that fight? His fist punched Lopez.
All right. Bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. Y'all see
Shout
the
out-
brother's toupee? You see the brother toupee fall off, bro? You see?
How you gonna get your toupee knocked off? How you gonna get your toupee?
Got his top knocked off.
RG, what you know about Herb Albert? That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's happening. Pop says love the new track. Okay, that's
Yeah,
an
see,
old track. I'll tell you
Feeling
that.
Feeling that.
That's from a folder from 9 Soul days that never got played. So shout out
Man,
to Aggie
okay.
Kid, man. He got beats.
Hey.
I want to get back to the getting your toupee knocked off because that was just I should have.
Hey, we're gonna talk about the fight in the second hour, man. We got some thoughts. We got some, we're gonna be talking about it in the second hour. Maybe try to pull that because the people, if you haven't seen that, it's worth the morning.
I don't
laugh.
even know if I want to do that to the brother. He embarrassed
It-
enough. That's just
It's worth the morning laugh. He did it to himself. He did it to himself.
he didn't know that muzzle would get knocked off. He over
Man.
there. I feel sorry for the barber who put that on. He gonna be over there boxing him for real. Woo, man. Got his cap peeled back.
Anyway. Let's get back on track, man. We'll definitely get into that in the second hour. In the meantime, between time, I do want to keep following the money, man, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, the money rock chemistry.
Yeah, man, because Penlin might be playing himself as well, just like the brother with the toupee, because some questions are being asked about some decisions that have been made, and we got to continue following the money, man. If you missed it, again, if you just joined the show, welcome First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hey. And yeah, earlier in the show, we're getting talking about a few funds, a few areas where the state is pulling money, trying to cover its 400+ million dollar deficit. But I think more importantly is not where the money is coming from, but where is it going?
Mm.
And might be going into the pockets of some friends, per a couple of articles. Big shout out to, again, those doing the work and asking the questions that need to be asked. First and foremost, diving into this no bid contract that might lead to Pillin being impeached. We'll see. Again, this is coming out of Channel 7. The headline reads, "The cover up is worse than the crime. State auditor raises questions over no bid contract." Again, it looks like the governor of Nebraska is using the power, using the seat to make their friends rich. Concerns over favoritism in the choice to blast through the bidding process on the economic development contract still dog Governor Jim Pillin weeks after the Nebraska Examiner first broke the news. Shout out to Nebraska Examiner and the work that they do. But again, State Auditor Mike Foley is not backing down. He says they could have easily put out a request for proposal, selected a contractor through the honest and open process, but they just washed all that away, saying we're just going to give it to this person who happened to have been associated in some way with the governor, and that's not right. Again, Auditor Foley is raising more questions this week, saying the justifications offered by the governor's team to offer a $2.5 million emergency no-bid contract to Julie Bushell fall flat. One of those reasons include the need for the Department of Economic Development to produce a report on bioeconomy progress per legislation passed in 2024. However, Foley says, "I'm not buying it." Again, Foley went on to say the filing deadline came and went, and there was no report, and they only cobbled together a report when I start asking questions about where's the report. And they've now acknowledged there's no report. A spokesperson for Pillin pointed to the value the contract brought in as justification, basically saying it's small. Again, we're talking about $2.5 million. In context, the contract, according to the spokesperson, was awarded and executed, helped secure $307 million in federal funding for Nebraska. The report, uniquely required by LB 1412, was filed late, and the administration action has been taken to prevent this in the future, according to the spokesperson. So again, just to recap, looks like Governor Pillin just completely bypassed any kind of contract selection process and gave his associate $2.5 million. And when asked about, the requirements of the fund, where's the report that this was supposed to pay for, there is no report. And per the article, their justification is, hey, but look at the $300 million we got you. Let's forget this 2.5 million. It's just a small percentage. But what if it's maybe 80%, let's say, of an allotment? Just is the case of this whole teammates mentorship program, as Flatwater Free Press is reporting on. Yeah, we're following the money. It doesn't stop there. According to Flatwater Free Press, shout out to Sarah Gensler for her reporting on this. A mentorship program that was actually pitched by Pillin initiated a $11.6 million award in taxpayer dollars to one nonprofit, Teammates Mentoring. Again, this is a month after taking office. Governor Pillin stepped to the mic and again pushed and promoted this program. And now it's coming out that only one program got a majority of these funds. A state leader said the grant program, which was Read Nebraska, aimed to use mentorship to boost lagging reading skills among elementary school students. Teammates, the nonprofit founded by Pillin's former coach, Husker football legend Tom Osborne, who is dealing with some health issues, was well positioned to accomplish that goal. According to the Department of Economic Development, through Read Nebraska, thousands of mentors are equipping students with reading skills that are foundational to academic and career success. This investment in our kids, reading and mentoring, will make a generational difference. But again, 80% of this allotment going to one organization. Again, we'll have our guests coming up, so we'll continue following the money and talking about this. But questions that need to be answered. Where is tax dollars going?
Good presentation. I definitely am. It's definitely got me wondering about some things too. That mentor thing is funny to me because it's it feels like such a Nebraska corrupt cliche. Like here's $15 million that It's going to go to some mentorship, so we can help people, help kids read, kids that don't have families, help all the stuff that you need help. You need mentors for. 12 million of it going to go to the Huskers though, to Husker mentorship. That's how y'all be. That's how y'all be about these Huskers out here, bro. Like.
Hey, I hear word on the street is if you want to be a politician in Nebraska, just play football for the Cornhuskers. That's what I'm hearing. That's word on the street.
Whoa, or anything, or doing any kind of real big business out here. I think it
Word.
doesn't hurt.
No, no.
I'm sure other
Cars help
cities feel the same way about their
athletes.
their athletes and the people coming. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, it's very very interesting here that that's happening. But yeah, I think there's just kind of this definitely a air of hookup. There's we talk about things being fair all the time, but this our whole society is about who you know and who you gonna get a hookup with. We don't even in our community we gotta act like that because that's all we've ever seen. We got to get in there so we can get our people in there. You know what I'm saying? And it turns out to not be very fair. And if you're in any kind of leadership position, I don't think that's what you should be, how you should be conducting business. Not to mention you using other people's money.
I think that's the point. I think that's the point. It's tax dollars. We're talking tax dollars.
It's wild. Tax dollars. So you can just do what you want. I feel like, like to be fair, like I feel like if I was in that position, it'd be real easy for me to be like, yeah, let me go on and just take this couple bucks over here and just put it over here and do this. I don't need to be going through the proper channels every single time I want to move 5 cents here to here or there. I feel like that's what he might be thinking when it comes to that. We think we look at a million plus as a bunch of money, but you know a lot of people don't think that when they got $300 million lakes they trying to build out there and so on and so forth. I don't know. It's interesting. Mark Manner in the chat said Pillen is obviously corrupt, but I think the accountability is from people trying to get him out and Herbster or Lindstrom in. Lindstrom just dropped his Congress run. Interesting.
Okay, little 3D, 4D chess going on. Okay, that's an interesting take. I like that. Thank you.
Also, he says, I think we're seeing the Nebraska GOP eat itself again, but they still remain in power and people keep voting for them. This is very true, too.
Makes sense. Okay.
Makes sense. Appreciate that. Also, Kimber's asking, well, what does well positioned to receive funds mean to them? Yeah.
I guess well positioned means you position like wide receiver, quarterback, center.
Or you position right next to him, or you position across the table at lunch. Right. Kimber says, I know what is supposed to mean, and I would think that Mentor Nebraska and others would have been well positioned as well. You ain't lying. Heather Williams says, teammates works. My son has had a mentor since third grade. He was the only that stuck with him, only one that stuck with him. The program had worked for him. He won a scholarship as well. Not saying it don't work, but does the 80% of the money supposed to go to it? I don't know.
Right. And are the Nebraska Cornhuskers the only ones that can?
She said my son will graduate in May. That's what's up. I don't want to take nothing away from it, but man, that's kind of a interesting. And wouldn't anybody have anything else to say about some of that money going somewhere else, or was it just the Huskers that spoke up the loudest about it? I mean,
well, it's just how lopsided the allotment is. Again, of the fund, the Cornhuskers received, I believe, a teammates program received 80% of it. The rest of the 20% of the funds was split amongst 16 different organizations per the article. So it's a very lopsided allotment. Had it been a little more equitable allotment, then I think the questions wouldn't be coming the way they are.
We'll leave it with this. RG says maybe Pillen learned from Brett Favre snatching welfare dollars in Mississippi to fund a new arena for his daughter's college volleyball team.
Hey, I was thinking it. I can't say I wasn't thinking it. Can't say I wasn't thinking
I hear that. We're going to take a quick break. We have our special guest waiting in the wings. We'll bring her in just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, it's First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He is Buddy to God.
Hey.
And we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Follow the money.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back for Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy to God, and we have
Hey,
Miss Tamika Mease
hey.
is joining us. Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Oh,
Good
we're
morning.
doing
Good morning.
fine. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
I'm so
Doing
happy that
great.
you woke up early to get with us
I
this morning.
woke up early for y'all and I didn't go to bed until after 1 a.m. I'm a night owl.
Hey,
Welcome to
welcome
our
to my
world.
life. Welcome to my life.
Yeah, we're a couple of artists, and we definitely are up all night, and then be trying to get up early and do this. So we feel your pain.
Yeah.
Feel your pain. But thank you so much. Very anxious to speak with you because first of all, we had you on the list to talk to anyway for a long time, just because of all the work that you're always doing, and
Oh.
we need to regularly catch up with you with everything you got going on for real. So first, before we jump into it, just tell us how you are, what you've been doing, and what's on your mind. How you feeling? How's the
Man,
family?
I'm feeling good. The family is good. Grandbabies is good. Uh, life is good. I can't complain. I can't
Mm,
complain at all.
good.
Very busy with work with NOCP and BBR, Black, Brown, and Red Coalition. And
Yes.
yeah, we got a lot of good things going on. The growth has been tremendous over the past several months with both organizations. And so, just we hit the ground running for 2026.
Man.
And y'all know the growth don't stop.
For sure, for sure.
So,
Yeah, definitely seeing the work in real time, real results, seeing it happen. So definitely wanted
yeah.
to dive into that in the flow of the conversation. Of course, we're following the money, talking about peeling and using tax
Mhm.
dollars to help people that may or may not really need it. But
Yeah.
again, definitely want to talk about you and using your own funds and using funds for where you're getting them to help people that definitely need it. And the work that
Right.
NOCP does. For those who aren't
Right.
familiar, again, North Omaha Community Partnership does a lot of work with families, really behind the scenes. That's one
Mhm.
thing that I do admire about your approach to the work is, of course, we're all about let the people know what's going on, public, like,
Right.
speak, tell the story, speak about it. But you're definitely behind the scenes, head down, doing the work. And let's talk about this a little bit, Paul. I know this is something that caught your attention. You want to lay it out, lay the
It
timeline
is.
out, set it up for the people.
It is definitely. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, the reason why this caught my attention, we've been working on some mutual aid, moving into some of these areas as well. I think our lane really is going to be, being the mouthpiece and shouting out, the people that are doing the work, like you, for instance, too. So that's kind of what we're all about, what as well. But we're also trying to see, in as we talk about what's going on in our current administration and everything that's happening right now, we're always saying at the end of the show, what is it we can do? How is it we can take care of ourselves? And so that's when we start looking at people like you and other folks in the community that are really doing it. And whenever you post something, I'm kind of it definitely jumps out at me, and I try to repost it on our channels. And
Thank you.
something just went down this recently that had me really kind of digging in. So let me present it to the people real quick. It started for with this post is what the first one I saw, looking for a private landlord, a 2-bedroom house or apartment. So that you already firing it up. Somebody needs something. You looking around. You put that out there. Very
Mhm.
shortly after that, Lord, something got to shake. I got 2 families that are homeless. We keep running into dead ends with getting them housed. And I'm reaching out for prayers and resources.
Mm,
This probably kicked a whole lot of people in on it because
Mhm.
the next one was you saying, I'm calling my people right now. We need help. Please help me with these families. There's no funding available. I have a parent that is now disabled and on very limited income. We also have single father with a son. Both families are homeless and need help. Please help. Please help us secure housing for them. We need to raise $3,000 to assist. You can be a part of the process to see where the funds are going. We're a 501c3 organization. Your contributions are tax deductible. He's starting to turn the heat up on them a little bit, saying, "Hey, we need some help. Here's how to help you out too. A little tax advantage." Right after that, anything will help. Right now, we found housing for one of the families, so you're making
mm,
progress as you're posting.
Mhm.
You said, with your help, their crisis will end one thing first thing tomorrow. Said they will be able to move in immediately. Please donate using the link below. You put the link out, the PayPal link, and
Mhm.
that was looked like some stuff was happening. Then you switch to these kinds of posts right here. You start showing people the PayPal. It's up at
Mhm.
$700. The same day we're the same. This is the same day this is going out.
Mhm.
Same day, a little later on, we up to $1,200.
Mhm.
And then this was the final one. You said, as of now, we've reached and exceeded our goal of 1,500. The family will be able to move in tomorrow. Thank you, Omaha. So I was it was like a drama. It was like it was like my stories, my soap opera. I was like, what's gonna happen
Mhm.
next? You know what I'm saying? And what's the progression of this? So I love the way you presented it. First of all, to first of all put it out there to the people, but also to kind of to keep up with what was happening with that. Before
Mhm.
we can get around to get spreading it to more people, you already reached the goal. So
Mhm.
first of all, thank you for that. Is there
Mm.
anything that you want to add to that story that you want people to know about that situation?
This family, the young man, this particular family, the young man, the youth in this situation, he's a part of our organization, our juvenile program called the Blueprint.
Wow.
And, he's been a part of our program for several months now. And we've noticed a decline in, his school attendance. He started not coming home, then running away. He would come home late and then he went missing.
Mm.
And so, with this family, they are native. And so with him missing, it sparked, concern in the native community. And we also have, the coalition that I founded, Black, Brown, and Red Coalition, where y'all, I didn't even present this to the coalition. And next thing I know, red members of the coalition were like, putting search parties together. Folks
Mm.
came down from the reservation looking for this young man. Like you had a bunch of mamas that was concerned, a
Mm,
bunch of mamas from our red, brown, and red community and black community that were concerned that was looking for this child. And so, they found the child. And when I started seeing the missing posts on Facebook, is how I found out that the coalition had, members of the coalition had started, spearheading the search.
mm,
So I reshared it and I'm like, he's one of ours. And so I'm communicating with the group. Omaha is that small.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Omaha is that small that I'm like, hey, he's one of our kids. We want to find him. We want him to be safe. We put it out there. Baby, we just need you to come home and be safe. So once he came home, we talked to him, and all of his issues is surrounding being homeless. He was just tired.
mm,
They were sharing a room together, one room, and homeless, and now he's in the 10th grade. And it's like, Miss Tamika, I'm tired.
Mm.
And I said, I tell you, I want to say last Wednesday, I said, I tell you what, you give me your word that you going to stay put, come home every day, go to school every day, and come to NOCP every day. And I promise you, within a week, you're going to be sleeping in your own bed.
Mm.
And the way his face lit up, y'all. And I said, I got you. When Miss Tamika tell you something, I keep my word. And baby boy, I got you. But I need you to pull your end of the deal. I said, do
Mm-hmm.
I have your word? He said, yes. He went to school Thursday and Friday. He came home. He came to NOCP and I got to work, but I kept running into a brick wall
mm,
because, mom, she was sick. She got into a car accident and she ended up getting evicted.
Okay.
And, she just recently, got on, disability. So she's very limited income. And, it's like she has guaranteed income, even though it's not that much, but she can pay her rent. But when you're paying for rooms, you can never catch up
mm,
or save up. And so, man, y'all, the way God works, I sat in this room, I was at home, and I said, Lord, you told me to help this family. I'm going to step out on faith and I'm going to trust in your word. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I know you're going to do it. And next thing I know, I get a DM from a black owned development company that has their own real estate. They have their own rental properties. And
Mm.
just so happened, the owner, we grew up together. We are what we call Miami Park vets. We grew up in Miami Park together. The struggle was real in our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And we both grew up, figured it out, made mistakes, figured it out. And, now running multi-million dollar organizations and businesses, and understand our purpose, understand that we're walking our purpose and giving God the glory. And so his wife reached out and she said that her husband showed her the post. How can we help? Because we do have a 2-bedroom and we're willing to rent to him, but the rent is this much. So I'm like, okay, she said she can afford 800, but they told her she can get a part-time job. So I'm like, okay, we can do this. So I talked to her, and so the rent was 1100. I said, okay, you bring me what you got, because you get paid on the she got paid on Friday since the first fell on a Sunday. I said, you come with what you can bring, but I didn't want to break her. So I didn't have her apply all that she had, because she still got to survive the month of February.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, you come with what you can bring, and I'm going to come up with the rest. And I knew what we could do as an organization within our blueprint program, because I do set funds aside per family to be able to help them with our wraparound services that includes rental assistance if your youth is a part of our program. So I
Mm.
knew I had that. And I said, Lord, in order for this to work, I need to bring in at least 1,500 more. And that is what we did.
Hold on 1 second now. Hold on. I just want to let people know right now we're in the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
It's 8:02 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. We're with Tamika Mease, and she's telling us a story about how this thing happened. And if you want to hear more, you're going to have to stay with us on this second hour and hear how this story ended up. So I appreciate that very much. If you have any questions for her, please put them in the chat. And of course, you know how our chat chimers are very respectful. We speak to each other as if we're speaking face to face. So if you have anything you want to say and you want to ask, please do that while we have her here. And yeah, appreciate you guys showing up for us. Do us a favor, share the show, let everybody know that she's on here, letting us know about what's happening. So now I want to get to the end of the story here. How did you get that 1,500? How did you get that 1,500?
So, I put it out there, and I was really hesitant about putting it on social media, because honestly, it just opens up the floodgates.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And as it did, because I got so many DMs of families in the same situation that need help. But we were able to raise the money. We were able to pay her deposit, and help her with a portion of the first month's rent, because she did have some skin in the game. And we are able to split up rest to make supplemental payments for the next couple of months, until she gains part-time employment and can pay the entire 1,100. And we are also doing case management for the next year
Wow.
Mm.
to continue to provide wraparound services to make sure they're not having any, other hardships or difficulties, and to look out for my partners to make sure that their rent gets paid, because I gave them my word and they stepped out, and didn't do no credit checks, background checks, none of that, on the strength of NOCP. And so, a lot of times families just need help. They need guidance, and they don't need a band-aid. Can't put a band-aid on this where I just give you a little something and then walk away. No, we're going to walk this thing together. And, I thank God that I have the staff to be able to do that. It's not all on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God that I have the staff. I was very particular when I did my hiring, and we're hiring right now. You got to already be in the community doing the work.
Right.
Can't be new at this. Your heart got to be in it, and you got to be from the community you serve, because otherwise you're not going to really understand. You're not going to be able to relate to the people that we serve. And NOCP is a nonprofit organization with a 501c3 status. But above all, NOCP, I gave birth to it. Nobody hired me for this. I built it with my own blood, sweat, and tears. And NOCP is my ministry. And so we don't operate the way traditional nonprofit organizations operate. We actually still operate like we're grassroots. We
Mm-hmm.
just get funded now, you know. And on top of the funding, we get a lot of revenue because I'm a businesswoman first, and it is still a business. And I have a lot of contracts where I don't have to depend on getting grants in alone. I have revenue coming in. And with that revenue coming in, we have a lot more control over the funds and what we want to do with the funds to serve our
Mm-hmm.
people.
Wow. Everything that you're saying is really hitting for me. We did some work with the 180 Rap program over there. Shout out to Diane Good Collins at
Hey,
MCC,
squad.
and they have a program over there called the Life Project that has wraparound services in the same way that you're talking about. So that wraparound service, I'm really
Mm-hmm.
understanding. You can't just toss a couple bucks somewhere and then think that's it and just walk away. Like you said, it's a continuous thing. So I appreciate that part of it. Also, the staff that you're building, it seems like you're building a great team to be able to help these things too. And also you're right along with us. We decided that how we were going to do things too was that even though we do take nonprofit dollars, we can't depend on them. You got to have
Right.
some revenue. You got to be able to be able to say what you're going to do with your own money. Number
Right.
one, number two, that kind of stuff dries up because it's supposed to be out of people's charity, out of however they feel at the moment about how
Man.
But I'm sure that one thing that I'm really thinking about right now is just you in particular. This is something you birthed. And one of the things that we are trying to push here is to become a trusted source in your community. That is a requirement. We have a thing called Content Creator Camp where we're trying to train citizen journalists. And the first lesson is be trusted source in your community.
Yeah.
So I'm quite sure that
Our
the way
own do that.
say again,
Marlon, one
say
of our
again,
own, Marlon Harrison.
yeah.
Hey.
He's one of your own. Okay. That's right. He's a content creator camp alumni for sure, man. Shout out to Marlon Harrison for real.
Squad.
Perfect example of what we're talking about. Somebody who wants to root it in the community and wants to get down. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love to hear that he's associated with you guys. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Totally. But yeah, so I'm thinking about you and your reputation. I'm thinking about what you said about your partners. Like you can make calls to people that own properties, and it's not just the work that you're doing with the people that need the help, but it's the work that you're doing with the people you plug those people in with other people, and they got to trust you too. So how would you say you have built that trust over years of on both ends that way?
Mm.
I'm just, I've always strived to be a woman of my word. And without a doubt, whatever I said I was going to do, I did it. And that was from the very beginning when there was a lot of skepticism. There was, I couldn't even sit at tables, because it wasn't clicked up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, I put it out there in the atmosphere, back in 2018. I said, if you won't let me sit at your table, I'll build my own because I got something to say and I got work to do. And that's exactly what I did. And just people seeing me over the years and working with me in different spaces on different projects and things, initiatives, I went hard and I'm what you call a mobilizer. And like I said, I keep my word. That's the main thing. And, in today's society, in different spaces, you have people that operate one or two ways. Either they operate on trust and loyalty, or they operate on opportunity and leverage.
Mm.
Mm.
Those trust and loyalty people, you know, and that's just how I operate. And I won't fold for that. And, I maintain my integrity. And, NOCP, I wanted to outlive me. I have, a 6-year-old granddaughter who comes to the office and she tells me, Mama, I'm gonna run NOCP one day. Baby, you right.
Hey.
You
Nice.
Hey. Legacy.
run NOCP one day. I got a 13-year-old son who says he's gonna run NOCP. You right, son. And he has options because his father owns a transport business, trucking, but he wants to work with the community.
Mm.
And my two oldest children, who are my oldest will be 30 this year, and my oldest son will be 23 in a couple of months. They work for NOCP. And I couldn't imagine back then when I was, putting them through college and everything that, we would have this organization that they would be a part of, you
Wow.
know, majoring in psychology, clinical counseling for adolescents. Like they put in the work and they
Mm,
work with our youth. So this is serious. This is my family serving families in our community. So it's very important that you give back to where you're from.
yep.
No, I don't live in North Omaha, but I drive to North Omaha every day. I have family in North Omaha. I was born and raised in North Omaha, and I'm not forgetting about my people. A lot of people become successful and they go on about their business. I became
Mhm.
successful. I was successful before NOCP. That's how I was able to found NOCP using my own money for the first 2 years before I ever received anybody's grant.
Mm,
I was already successful, but I didn't forget about where I came from. And so people, that grew up with me that are doing the same things in the community, they see that, you know, when it's in you, not on you. And
right.
real is real. And so I got
Okay.
some real heavy hitters that stay out of the scene, they stay out the way, but they help. And they've been helping since day one. And when I call, they know Tamika not calling for nothing. Something's going on. And they know I'm not going to use you. I'm not going to take advantage of you. I'm not going to try to take more than what I need. And that's why I
That
put
part.
the post out, letting people know this is what we got. And we done exceeded our limit. Thank you so much. I'm not going to try to ever take more than what I need because 9 times out of 10, there's going to come a situation where I need our community's help again.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Want to tarnish that or jeopardize that trust and that relationship that we have with our community.
Right.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I want to get to the social media aspect of this, but before I do that, because that's kind of shifting gears, I want to hang on what you're saying here, buddy. I can see your wheels turning. I want to throw it to you because, I'm feeling the love of being from North Omaha. What's you thinking over there, buddy? Because I kind of feel like I want to hang on this for a minute because this is so important. How you have wrangled the help and you are being transparent, which a lot of people feel like other organizations aren't doing. How you feeling about that, buddy?
Well, I think what's sticking out is definitely what you're saying about love and loyalty versus opportunities and leverage, um, and just what your intentions are. Are you viewing this as an opportunity, or is this really rooted in love of the community, love of the people? And I think if you can see that fruit bears itself after a while. Like you can see um, where somebody is coming from, whether it's an opportunity or a thing of love. And I think the work that you're doing is just it has to be out of love. You know what I mean? Like it's so hard to just get into these people's lives and to deal with their day to day lives and to see what they're dealing with and to really take on the pressure and whatever it is that they're feeling and to get into that with them and as you're saying walk through that's nothing light that's nothing easy to do. So I definitely wanted to starting with acknowledging that and thinking of we all we got, but that's enough. And, that's really what I'm hearing is an embodiment of that, as far as just out of love, what you can do for the community and, man, changing lives,
Yeah, man.
just that. And I know from my own perspective, as I mentioned in previous episodes, also growing up in North Omaha and also having conversations with people that I went to high school with that weren't in stable situations and really hearing what they're having to deal with and not knowing how to help them and not being in a position to have the resources to call somebody to just get them a bed for the night or food or just something that might seem a phone that might seem similar or small, but in the grand scheme, that's the thing that's keeping them from getting, not having an address to get mail, to get an ID, to get a job. Like it really is those types of things that people don't really think about. But you're in it. You're in it. So I'm not even sure the point. I think I am feeling what you're feeling, Paul. Just thank you, and we see what the work that you're doing.
Yeah,
Thank
it's very apparent to me because you like Buddy saying to wrap around and to be able to help people. There ain't no you ain't getting rich doing that. There ain't no
Man,
there's just nothing that you can do when you're taking care of people on that level. That's like taking care of people how family take care of people. That's what
right.
that is. And we all we take care of our families and our kids and our parents and everybody else that we got to take care of out of love, out of nothing but love. So yeah, appreciate what you're doing, and I really admire how you're doing it. I would love to. I think it's been unspoken with us over the years. We've been trying to become trusted sources with people as well. And when we come across something that we need some help with, I just went through this myself over the holiday season. I ran across a family that needed some help, and I just kind of put the word out there, and just to see that family didn't really want to be known, be all out in public like that. So I just said, on my word, would you please help me put some money together to get this family through the holidays? And they did, and I was surprised because it's a big ask to say, just on my word, would you do this? And give me a little glimpse of like your life, because that's just your life. Like you can put the word out and people already know who you are, and can trust, and you can get some help that way. So I appreciate that you're doing that. Social media, before I know that we got to go here pretty soon, but social media, the social media aspect of it too, the way that you put those series of posts out, is that, I'm wondering, is that the best way for you in the way that you do business to reach out to people to say, hey, we need some help, would you help us? Do you just have to put some social media posts out, or do you got to get on the phone and call people individually? What's the best way to when there's a crisis happening and we need to hurry up and mobilize people? What's the best vehicle for that?
It honestly, it just depends. But
hmm
if urgent situation like that, social media is very instrumental, in getting the word out. I have a lot of followers. Um, and sometimes I pick up the phone. It really depends on what God leads me to do, to be honest with you. I'm very in tune with the Holy
hmm
Spirit, and I allow God to guide my steps. And I was supposed to, take some time off and just be with family this weekend, but my spirit wouldn't rest. I had to
hmm
for this family, and so I didn't call anybody this time around. I just knew that God would pick those people, and I don't know if your listeners who's believers and who's not, but I can't shy away from my beliefs and my faith, because that's what guides me. Um, and this family, the woman just told me yesterday, I just started uh, creating a relationship with God just recently. And I prayed in God to save us, because this was, it's one thing, and people can say, oh, well, they got shelters to go to and things and that. But when you have mental health mixed in, like the situation is affecting their mental health, this young man's mental health. Oh, no,
My
no,
God.
we can't go, the normal routes. This, you got to have intervention, and it took a divine intervention, and it happened, and now they're safe, and they can move forward, and we can wrap around them, with therapy, with the wraparound services. We offer food pantry shelters. We have a supply room called Desiree's Closet, where they can shop for household cleaning supplies and personal hygiene items, household items, every 2 weeks. So it's like, it really takes a village, and it
hmm
takes these resources, and it takes accessibility, you know. And so social media can be a double-edged sword.
Hmm.
You can use it good, or you can use it for bad.
hmm
But at the end of the day, however you want to use it is very effective.
I feel
So
that.
yeah.
Man,
Um, go ahead.
I think was really jumping out to me, and maybe we could talk about this more throughout the show, maybe more throughout the season. Is this concept of the currency of relationships is what I'm calling it. The currency of relationships. This is and you know you I think the most valuable relationship, speaking of currency and following the money, is the relationship with a higher power first and foremost, and then secondly, a relationship with yourself. Beyond that, relationship with community, and what I'm hearing is, regardless of the medium, whether it's social media, calling, speaking in person, as long as you have a relationship with these people, have a good relationship, have trust, then it doesn't matter. It can get done. It can get done. And I'm a very very big believer in the currency of relationships. And this is a concept that I want to unfold throughout the see. It's hitting me now, but this is something that's central to who I am as far as like how I got to Stankonia working, with Big Boy. Like you can't pay your way into these types of situations.
Right.
You have to be a certain person and move in a certain way that makes people view you in a certain way that like, yeah, I want to deal with that person. If you don't like somebody, there's no amount of money that can make you deal with them.
Right.
If you don't want to be around somebody, you can't pay me to be around somebody I don't like
Right.
or I don't vibe with or I don't feel like you care about me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
and again, this is a concept that's hitting me now. Is a lot of breadth and depth to this concept. But the currency of relationships, I keep saying it. We all we got, but it's
Yeah.
enough.
I
It's
want to
enough.
I want to speak to your the way you're talking about your faith, because what I'm seeing is there's a lot of people that say, oh, we're gonna leave it to God, and then just don't do nothing. But you
Mm,
from the jump said that people got to have some skin in the game with everything from the people who need the help to the people that are helping to the people that are
mm,
in between. And that you were supposed to spend the weekend with family, but your spirit was like, nah, I got to do some work. You don't just leave it to God. You leave it to God with it's faith without works is dead concept.
there you
So
go.
you
There you go.
so you working, you putting it out there, and that just that I just want to enhance that, because I do see a lot of people that just leave it to magic. You know what I'm saying? But no, you got to put in the work
Yeah.
with the prayer, with the prayer. So I appreciate you. Marlon Harris in the chat says, shout out to Miss Tamika for helping out with funerals for those who lost people to tragedy. I forgot that
Hey,
you do that too.
man,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
I
We
Thank
don't
you.
think we
appreciate.
got enough time. The work sister does, man. Like
Yeah.
people dealing with
I've
Right.
been
shootings, death,
to
homelessness.
7, you
Say
know,
again.
I've been helping folks out, with funerals since 2007. And so when
Mm,
I started my organization, I incorporated all of the work that I was already doing independently into my nonprofit organization. And so, yeah, we help out families. We're most notable for assisting families with um, that have gun and gang, you know, um, violence tied to it. But we also work with families of veterans, you know, just different folks that need the help. And, we just created a pathway to be able to do that. And that comes from revenue and partnerships. It's so important to build relationships, and it
mm-hmm.
can't be just a transactional relationship. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Mhm.
right.
So, um, and we actually build those bonds and those relationships and that trust. And it's not just a one-way street, because I come through for my partners as well. And I always
Mm-hmm.
say, I want to support you in what you're doing. I don't want you to just support me. You know, it's a give and take. And so it's that's how I'm able to do what I do in lieu of money. I have
Mm-hmm.
those relationships with
Ooh,
those
yeah.
partners that want to give back. They want to be there. And that's how we operate. But we've been able to maximize our dollars and our resources to help on a broader scale, on a higher level, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and we just keep climbing. We're steadily climbing. I was just in a meeting last week with some advisors, and these is, big time people that work with other major nonprofits, and they said we've never seen growth like this.
Wow.
Mm,
CP, the way you're growing, the way you're doubling and quadrupling your budget year after year after year, we've never seen growth like this.
Wow.
And that's God. That's
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
He gave me an assignment. I understood the assignment, and I don't back down from it. And I'm business minded. So I run my nonprofit like a business. because it is a business. And
Mhm.
I make contracts. I create contracts and MOUs, and to increase my revenue every year so that I can use that revenue to help the people the way they need help, and not have somebody treating me as a puppet and telling me what I can and what I can't do with
Right.
these funds. And nobody do that but my board. And my board, a requirement, you got to be from the community we serve, so they understand as well. It's not just me and my staff. My board also understands what is required to really make a difference in our community.
Straight up.
This one last question. You this is the name of your organization is North Omaha Community Partnerships, right?
Yes.
Well, who are the partners? Can you name some of the other organizations you work with pretty closely?
Oh man, Empowerment Network.
Okay.
When it comes to the juvenile justice thing, because that's really our main thing that we do. Even though we do a lot of things tied to it, our main thing is juvenile justice, and the blueprint program is my bread and butter. That's where my salary gets paid, just to be transparent with everyone. And my salary doesn't go up and down with the amount of people that I help out in the community. It stays
Right.
the same, and it's paid through the blueprint program. um, you got Viable Healing, Roscoe Wallace, um,
Hey,
and always from the start, the BAA,
For
word.
sure.
Kasim, that's my family. Um, and people may have seen little riffs and all of that. Y'all stay out of family business. That's
Right.
my um, and if I'm rocking, he rolling. And then you have Cole Z, anything surrounding the youth, the Urban League, Creighton Law School. Um, let's see, Essential Gathering Place with
Mhm.
Miss Stacy Honeycutt, um, Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Ashley Spivey, former Senator Justin Wayne. I still work sometimes with Senator Justin Wayne in the juvenile justice space. We run into
Mhm.
each other in court. I get guidance from him when it comes to these youth, because I show up in the courtrooms for our youth and really advocate for them.
Wow.
Um, and other grassroots, organizations. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Untamed and
Hmm.
those things.
Mhm.
We've done a lot of great things together. Assembly of Saints, Pleasant Green Baptist Church, have helped out with families, when they need somewhere to hold their loved ones' funerals. Um, I could really go on and on, but those
Mhm.
are, you know, the main ones. And then there's individuals as well, like Johnny No Good, Shamari Huggins.
Yeah.
Um, I really give a lot of props to those brothers, because meeting them several years ago, they was like, I'm just a messenger, but they delivered a divine message to me, and
Mhm.
that's what has really carried me. So when times get hard and I feel weak, I think about the message that those brothers delivered to me all those years ago. Um, but like I said, those are the just. But I have a lot of corporate partnerships as well. Um, and I'm not partnered with the Omaha Food Bank, but I'm partnered with Whispering Roots. I'm partnered
Okay.
with food distribution companies that provide food for your grocery stores. They'll provide food for us too, and we've had that partnership for about 4 years now, and that's how we do our pantries. So but the key to it is when you connect with someone that is like-minded. um, the connection has to be authentic. It
Mm.
has to be sincere, you know. And just like my connection with South Omaha, my brown brothers and sisters in South Omaha and other places, because y'all know we all over the place now. We not just in North and South.
Right.
um, and my red brothers and sisters, not even the ones that are inner city, but reaching out to the reservations. You
Mhm.
know, this is it's a very divine, intentional connection, and you have to build these relationships, because there's so many that are a part of these different entities. that have brilliant minds and ideas. And when we come together and put our differences to the side, but not just put to the side, but actually work through it and
Mm-hmm.
heal and unpack it and heal from it,
Mm-hmm.
then we unstoppable. We are the majority. If we put
Right.
all of us together as BIPOC, we are the majority. And it's so important to keep that in mind and recognize that as much as we are different, we are the same, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I feel
and
that.
I've struggled. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to shy away from my past, being a single parent, struggling, trying to get through college with 2 kids, my husband doing fed time, you know, 10 years, almost 11 years fed time. Yeah, times was hard, but it shaped and molded me in the person that I needed to be able
Mm-hmm.
to relate to the people that I serve today. And I don't shy away
That's it.
from, I don't do no code switching. What you see is what you get. This is Tamika in front of the camera, off the camera, in the room, outside the room, you're gonna get Tamika. So, and that's just how, I operate unapologetically. I am my black self. So,
I love
what
it.
you get.
We all about that.
Crazy.
Appreciate you
Crazy.
coming on today.
Straight up.
Really do. Really
Thank
do.
Thank you. Thank you.
you. And Buddy, I gotta give a shout out to Buddy too, because the first event I ever did was a youth conference saying, lift every voice because we got next. And we did that in the middle of the pandemic in 2020, and Buddy was our DJ. Buddy
Hey.
from a can of paint. And when I came on the scene, like Empowerment Network didn't know who I was. It was a lot of people that was like, "Who is this Tamika Mease?" And we, put together the largest youth conference even to today. We put together, that, and the BAA was a part of it. Um, Urban League was a part of it, and Buddy came in and blessed us, with his time and talents, and he believed in the work without even really knowing who I was. He saw
Mm-hmm.
something. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna rock with that sister. So, Buddy, I appreciate you and I love you for that. And I'll always remember that. I'll never forget those that rock with me just on the strength of the cause and the purpose. You know,
That's
I,
it.
and that really matters. So, thank you, Buddy.
Oh man, thank you for the opportunity. To get down and use my talents in a way that supports causes that matter. Because in this music industry, it's a lot of foolishness that goes on. So when you can use it for good, you know,
Yeah.
I'm there for it. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the work that you're doing. I do have one last question for the BBR for people who are interested, want to get down. Just quick, just in respect for your time. Just how can people get involved? Any contact information? The Black
Uh,
Brown Red Coalition.
the best way right now is through our Facebook page, Black, Brown, and Red Meetup. Is
Okay.
the name of our page. And we have meetings, I believe, every month on the third Wednesday. And I'll post it. You can also check my page because I post everything from, that has to do with BBR and NOCP. But just tap in that way. We want folks that want to get to know more about the coalition. You don't have to be a member to come. You can just come for information, get insight. And we do that monthly. And then we also have bi-monthly board meetings. We hold events once a quarter. We do have We just had an event for the first quarter. So second quarter, be on the lookout for that. But we do share it to our page. And then all of our board members and members, they share it as well. It's really about us working together and putting our hearts and our minds together and healing from systemic oppression and things that were put in place to keep us divided. So we
Man,
have healing conversation with just us. And we appreciate our allies, but when we do those healing discussions, we respectfully ask for our allies to not come in the room. And
mm,
then when we do our mixers and things like that, we welcome all of our allies. But when we're having those healing discussions, just know we love and appreciate our allies. And if you're truly our ally, then you understand.
Got to
So
have that family talk. Family talk
man,
first.
straight up.
So just be on the lookout on my page and BBR's Facebook page, and we do post it publicly. And like I said, other people share it. But we'll have something going on every month that people can come and be a part of.
That's what's up.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And I know the mayor showed up to one of your meetings, so you got the mayor's office support, right?
He actually, in 2 years, because we've been doing this for 2 years, he's never missed a meeting. And so then decided to run for mayor. He's a founding member.
Wow.
Yeah, and he has not. He even came. We had a meeting on his birthday. One year he came for his birthday, and we all sang happy birthday to him. He hasn't missed a meeting yet, and it's been 2 years.
So he wasn't there just for the votes. He in there for real.
Hey, founding member. He a part. He got skin in the game. You heard her.
Him and Dr. Viv, they have never missed a meeting.
Man,
beautiful.
Yep.
Love it. Appreciate you. We'll definitely be spreading the word when those come around and try to get there ourselves for sure. So we appreciate you coming through and everything you're doing. We're gonna have to do this again soon because I'm getting the sense that there's a whole lot more work you got going on that we need to know about. So we'll have you back if you want to come back for sure.
Right. Thank you so much for the invitation and just providing the platform, for folks to, get to know us and, just everything that you do, because sometimes there's a misconception and, negative information spreads like wildfire, and I pride myself in being very transparent. I do this from the heart. I don't have nothing to hide. And so I know y'all have seen a lot of things go on social media pertaining to NOCP and Tamika Mease, but they talked about Jesus Christ, so I'm not an exception. But I just keep doing the work. I do what God purposed me to do, and I'm gonna do this work till God tells me I'm done. And that's just yep. So
that's what's up.
Also,
well, we take everything that we see on social media with a grain of salt anyway. So we like to speak to the source, and find out for ourselves. So we appreciate that and appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you very soon.
All right, take care.
All right, you
too.
Peace.
Hey.
Good one.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, y'all, got something out of that. If you know some people in need, maybe can help.
We need to take a quick break. We'll come right back and jump into the rest of the show, which we got about another 20 minutes or so. So thank you for that. If you missed any parts of the interview with Tamika Mease, please go back to YouTube and check it out in its entirety. A very, very powerful guest as far as I'm concerned. And you're talking about people moving and shaking and in occupying multiple lanes in the lanes of change in Omaha. She's one of them for real.
For sure.
Big time. Stay tuned. First Guy Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddy to God. New equipment celebration day. I'll be right back. Welcome back. First Guy Omaha in the morning. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God. Appreciate you guys coming on through today. And man, Arrows for us too. Don't forget to tell them First Guy sent you. Hey, tell everybody that. Just tell everybody.
Tell everybody.
Get to school, they calling attendance. Paul B. here. First Guy sent me. Mm-hmm. Just say it any chance you get. Just
make you your greeting. Walk in the room. Hey, y'all. First Guy sent me.
I appreciate you guys coming through, man. We are deeply into this season 4B, Follow the Money. A lot of these themes about following the money are really, really taking effect And I'm so happy to hear somebody who is doing, all these. We don't get messages of people circumventing all this mess that's going on.
Man.
I've been highly digging into the situation where how ICE is getting funded, and how much money keeps going to ICE. How many politicians keep on voting on giving ICE more money, even with everything going on like it is. It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. And I will say though that there's, we have to tie this into what's happening right now, which we're in a partial government shutdown is happening right this minute. And part of that is because there's these bills that are being held up. The Democrats are claiming they don't want ICE to have any more money, at least for the first 2 weeks, and then they'll discuss it again. Some Democrats are saying that they will vote on going ahead and getting ICE some more money along with the Republicans, but they want some oversight. Everybody's saying a whole bunch of stuff. But what struck me when I heard about it is we got to get people in the seats, because the people in the seats really are going to control that. Whether we can have 1 day boycotts, and we can go march, and we can do all this stuff, but to stop ICE, it needs to be defunded. And the only people that are working on defunding that are the people that the representatives, quote unquote, people that are supposed to be representing us in these seats. The right folks got to get in them seats in order to represent us the right way. If people want this thing defunded, then that's how it'll be defunded that way. These 1 day boycotts and stuff like that happen. By the way, did you participate in that blackout the other day? Let us know how that went. But these one day boycotts and stuff that they call for are supposed to put pressure on corporations, so that the corporations put pressure on the politicians to do stuff like defund ICE. Real roundabout, and it feels a little bit powerless. I kind of want to cut through some of that and just be like, let's just put somebody in the seat that's going to vote against funding them. And that's got to be a part of it. So even though we have, we talk about lanes of change, we talk about political power being one of the lanes. It's a pretty big, powerful lane, especially during political season, because what I'm understanding about political power is that it really is the economic power that is coming from the political power, because really this country is a corporation, and these people in these seats are managers of the money. So how our money gets spent, where the money goes, what happens or if it goes to organizations, gets taken from organizations. I mean, really think about it. That's been the theme of today's show, really. What's going on with where our dollars go? What's going on with what dollars of ours are getting taken away and redirected somewhere that we don't want it to go, and all that. So how you going to get ICE off the streets? Quit having money to hire Proud Boys and everybody else as ICE agents. There's 500 police officers in Minneapolis, and now there's 2,200 ICE agents out there, because they keep on hiring and hiring and hiring, and giving them bonuses and drawing people to it, and so on and so forth. You got these to be defunded. So that makes me very, very upset at a lot of the Democrats that have went ahead and just buckled and voted to get ICE more money. Who's holding the line out here? Anybody?
Yeah, that's the question for me. Who's holding the line? Where is the solidarity? Who's keeping it solid? Who's keeping it solid as far as our elected officials supposed to be, supposedly representing the people? And, when kind of continuing from our conversation with our sister Tamika, that really is jumping out as far as relationships and the power, the currency of relationships, and thinking of just people power in general. For instance, cancel culture. I think about cancel culture and how do so-called artists survive this phenomenon that has come over the last decade of, quote unquote, being canceled. And some people might view that as a career death sentence if you're quote unquote canceled. But we have seen some artists make it through by having their people, by having, you can say the internet, but there's going to be people out there that you can turn to, that you can build solidarity with, that you can build coalition with, that will support your endeavor, support an idea. Solidarity, people power goes a long way. And when it comes to ICE, there might not be solidarity from elected officials, but the people I'm viewing are united. It's not just, I'm saying that's one thing that's jumping out over the weekend is protests everywhere, not just in Minneapolis, but now have you seen the protests on Roblox? The kids are protesting ICE on Roblox. They're protesting ICE on Grand Theft Auto. They're protesting ICE in Italy.
They say they training on Grand Theft Auto on how to act in the streets. Bro, not to mention Minecraft got a whole library of all the banned books that they trying to.
Yeah.
The battles are happening everywhere.
Solidarity. We need the solidarity. Definitely solidarity from our elected officials. But right now, the kind of transition solidarity with our journalists. I mean, big shout out. We definitely have to talk about that situation. Big shout out to the just the support that Georgia Ford, Don Lemon are receiving. And I'm feeling emboldened. I'm watching this play out, and as a journalist by all means, and as a person with a microphone in my face talking about what's going on outside, it's dangerous right now, especially black journalists. Let's call it what it is. I haven't really looked at it from that angle, but I've read some commentary and thought about it myself as far as what the arrest of Don Lemon and Georgia Floyd really meant. Georgia Ford, excuse me, really meant as far as what this attack was, as far as arresting independent black journalists, specifically independent black journalists, and how we need some solidarity as far as again supporting each other and how to get through this and really figure it out. I do want to address the question that Sister Georgia asked as far as the Constitution goes, where we at on that. But yeah,
let's play that
solidarity.
Let's play that.
Yeah, go ahead.
As I reflect, as a journalist who has worked in media for more than 17 years, I leave this federal courthouse today with one question. Do we have a constitution?
Or not?
No, we don't look like I should be protected under the First Amendment, just like all of the journalists who I've been advocating for, too. I've been advocating for mainstream media journalists who have been brutalized for months. Do we have a constitution? That is the pressing question that should be on the front of everyone's minds. And so to everybody who showed up today, thank you. Please continue to support the other people who are being charged. Obviously, because there's ongoing litigation, there is not much that I can say beyond what I'm saying now. But amplifying the truth, documenting what is happening in our community is not a crime.
There you go. News gang. Documenting what's happening in our society is not a crime. First Amendment rights. First Amendment gives you the right to do all of that, to assemble, not just report and not just free speech, but to the right to assemble is mixed in with the First Amendment. Do we have a constitution? We don't have an administration right now that I feel like is respecting the Constitution at all. It's definitely pushing back. We've known now for a while they're not playing by the rules of the Constitution. They're trying to change it.
Man, and again, this is going back to the whole idea of solidarity. I've mentioned the fact that I believe the Constitution is really a trust document, and essentially it is the people, we the people, coming on the concept of solidarity, and we can have a whole nother conversation about the structuring of the Constitution, who people believe it. That's a whole nother conversation, a whole other couple of shows as far as the Constitution goes. But that question is pertinent as far as where we are today. Do we have a constitution? Is it in fact, or is it in tradition, in concept only? This is not necessarily a question I have the answer to right now, but this is definitely something that we have to ask. These are questions and conversations we have to have, especially again with the ramping up attacks on journalists. Let's just call it what it is.
There you go. Mama God in the chat is saying whatever reason was sold to start ICE in 2002 after 9/11 is full blown exposed now. They don't want to stop this monster. The people see it. Yeah, it's definitely, you forget sometimes that ICE comes from Homeland Security, which started after 9/11, and there was that Homeland Security situation was very much because they were creating a new force to battle the terrorism of 9/11. And it's interesting how it's morphed into that's where the leader of the Proud Boys work now, and feels like this administration's personal army They're in blue dots and blue states, battling and fighting people that are marching in the streets against them. So as many people that, you talk about solidarity, that's what I think of. I think of that. I think of how many people are out in LA in the streets, how many people are out in DC, New York, even in Omaha here, we got people out protesting against all this. There's a lot of solidarity for as far as people in the country. It's not a very popular situation for people, and especially when they start shooting American citizens and stuff like that. You're talking about turning the tide of the attitudes of people. A lot of people, they joked about it on Saturday Night Live last Saturday. If you saw that, a lot of people out here like, I guess I better change my mind on some things. Yeah. So again, what can be done? That's kind of the question. At 8:50 right now, if you believe in the concept of time, we're going to solve this in the next 10 minutes. So I'm glad you're here because we need your help to do that. So we appreciate that. Sean McCarthy says, and the Supreme Court has drastically reinterpreted the Constitution since Trump 2.0 came into office. Yeah. Mama God says it's a conceptual handshake. Yeah. It's really interesting. Really interesting to see what we got going on. Since Georgia Fort and Don Lemon got arrested, we definitely have been, we had to get our group together and have some conversations about what we're doing, how we're doing it, what's at stake, what good can we do. We don't just have, we're not the same kind of journalists. We don't just have jobs out here journaling, getting the information. We have a different kind of a thing that we're doing here that has to do with gathering together like-minded people and acting on some things. What is the threat for people who are activists? What's going on there? I can understand this administration targeting people who are the loudest because this president comes from media, and the first thing he's going to see is the media shouting it out. But what's going on behind the scenes to the grassroots organizers that are putting things together too? Or something happening to them? Do we need to tie this into some of the Black Lives Matter leaders winding up dead somewhere? What's really going on the front lines in that way? We can see Jimmy Kimmel and stuff get taken off the air for a minute and all that, but what's really going on for the organizers? Kind of need to know, because that's, we have to reassess how it is that we're doing anything at this point. Right now, we're just all trying to make sure that our families are safe and not getting pulled out of cars and shot in the face. So what and beyond that, what do we need to do here? So, like I said, we got about 8 minutes left in the show. We're going to solve this in 8 minutes, and we need your help. So chime into the chat. Let us know what we need to do. Where's Mayor Sanchez at when we need him? There he is. Man. Yeah. He says, adjust your deductions on taxes to get zero back. I like you reminding us about this is tax season, by the way. A lot of people are calling for boycott of taxes. If they're not going to do it right. Yeah, I know about. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. But I think the economic aspect of it, those are the two things that are coming to mind for me. And I'll end with this word as far as a champion. But when we talk about activism and organizing, I'm thinking of one, bringing the community together, and then two, raising funds, for the community to get active. And when I think of that, I think of the likes of what Bud Crawford is doing, the likes of what Houston Alexander is doing as far as educating, talking to even with Sister Tamika, again, feeding back into the youth. And I'm connected because, when we think of these types of times and, what can we do, it almost seems like the most revolutionary thing to do is to feed back into your community, is to bring the community together to make sure that we're taking care of each other. And that, they're not necessarily leaders, but they're champions in the community who's feeding back and giving other people in the community something to look forward to, so we can keep that generational activity going, if you will, if you catch my drift, Paul.
Like that activity.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about activity, and what can come as far as, first of all, being active. For instance, I brought up Bud Crawford and what he's doing. If you're not paying attention, again, Omaha is pretty much in the middle of the boxing world. And what does that mean for our youth? Having activities to get involved with it. I would definitely love to hear if anybody in the chat has, firsthand experience of, especially the youth going to the boxing gym and getting active, and what that means for opportunities, coming to the community, and how that turns into economic opportunities, how that turns into people feeding back, giving back to the community, supporting the community in areas that it really needs to fight back against this quote unquote system that we're all in.
We talk a lot about what brain drain all the time.
Yep.
in this city. We talk about how do we keep people here that are born and raised and go to school here and keep their expertise in town and have a thriving economy, have a thriving society here in Omaha by keeping people here. Answers that I'm hearing in the room, especially from artists, are the same things that would keep people here are the same things that would draw other people to here. And if you think of it that way, what do you have here in Omaha that would draw people from other states to want to come here? And my suggestion on that is champions in the way that we're talking about it right now. I only feel like there's a few reasons why people would move to Omaha. Number one reason I believe that people move to Omaha is because there's family here, and we've all moved back here for our families, or we stayed for our families, or we or whatever the deal is. But family, every time I talk to anybody, they're like, well, family, that's the reason why I moved back here, or I moved here. So that's one very big reason. But when you hear about industries, like why do people move to New York? Why do people move to LA? And why do people move to Atlanta? They do this because they are going to the places that are thriving in the areas that they want to thrive. If they're artists, if you're a dancer, you have to be in New York. If you're in film, you got to be in LA. If you're in music, you got to be in Atlanta. These are, if you move, you're inspired. Young people are inspired to move to the places that are doing the things that they're trying to do on the level where they can have a career doing it on the highest level. What are the career opportunities here in Nebraska? Well, this is the reason why I think Huskers are so important. The football scene here is huge because people go on to greatness from that, and they put a lot of money and time and effort into college football, and they churn out champions. So I think that's one of the reasons people Huskers is on the roster when a college student from another place is thinking about where to go to play football. The Huskers is on the roster for that. I'm quite sure. Another thing is, if you're a business person, then you want to be here because this is where Warren Buffett is. If you're a person that is in that kind of financial world, you're gonna own some shares of Berkshire. You're gonna come here for the annual. You're gonna hear the people that say, "Hey, come to Omaha and start business." There's a lot of good business here to start. That's an industry that is huge here, and the champion of that is Warren Buffett. For us, Bud Crawford is the champion. There are kids that come from other states to come to B&B Boxing to train where Bud's at because he's a champion that took over the world and then said, "But I'm here back in Omaha, and we're gonna build some stuff here in Omaha for y'all to do that." And that draws people here. Same thing that draws people here are the same things that'll stop people from leaving if you're interested in that situation. So Houston Alexander is another one. Houston Alexander, shout out to him, who is a champion of Omaha. He is not just taking over the world, but he's also stayed in Omaha, and he's working with the kids of Omaha. People that want to stay here, stay here. We think of cats like that. People that want to come here because of cats like that. He just did this huge thing where he's blowing up MMA in Omaha. Just won Saturday night, and I saw him on interviewing with William King, interviewing all over town about how important it is that we show up to these fights because we can bring this industry here to Omaha. So again, champions that are bringing industry here. Shout out to him. And then of course, like I said, every time we turn around, here's Bud Crawford out here, male fighter of the year, just won an award 2 days ago, champion of the area. So I really, as we wrap the show up today, I really think about, when we think about the economy, we think about following the money. We think about people that are all about the area that we're in. I think of people like Tamika Mease, who is boots to the roots on the ground from here, helping here and helping people maintain here so that they can move on to greatness. And then I think about the champions like Houston Alexander, Bud Crawford that are here, putting Omaha on the map enough for people to want to move here, people that want to stay here. and everything that's happening here. But all that is because it also brings economy. It brings economy on every different level. One of the reasons why you move is because you move out of town to go get a better job. If the jobs are here, if there's an industry here, if you can see upward mobility in what you're trying to do here, you'll stay. Point blank, period. So, to me, when we have an administration here and we have leadership here that seems like they're doing everything to push away the popular reasons why people will stay in a place or go to a place, you can't complain about brain drain if you're gonna have a state that is taking away everybody's resources, making it hard on your people. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna? What kind of people do you really want here? Is kind of the question. Like, well, who are you trying to weed? Who are you trying to weed out and make this state be what?
Man, a few people in the chat kind of responding to that. Marlon Harrison saying medicine and insurance is the big industries in Omaha. Also, RG saying Nebraska is also part of the Silicon Prairie, or for the folks that work in tech. Okay, it's interesting. When you're kind of talking about it, all I could think of was Berry Gordy.
Champion.
All I could think of the champion Berry Gordy, and bringing the Motown sound, the Motown situation to Detroit, and how that led to things like Martin Luther King Day becoming a thing, because Stevie Wonder, who was grew up as Motown, and probably wouldn't be Stevie Wonder if it wasn't for Berry Gordy and Motown advocating on behalf of and building coalition to create something like the Martin Luther King Day. And that's just one small example. There's no telling how much financially those celebrities and singers contributed to the civil rights movement. Talk about some legends, but again, that it all started with a champion in the community, like Detroit.
Big time. I'm thinking right now, for some reason, I'm thinking about Mario Van Peebles. Actually, Mario Van Peebles' father, Melvin Van Peebles, he one of the first black exploitation films that ever existed was Sweetback's Badass Song back in the day. And the Black Panther Party required everybody in the Black Panthers to go see this movie, put that movie on the map. It was one of the first independent films that made a whole bunch of money and started a whole industry. And I just think about the solidarity and the fact that was a required. The autobiography of Malcolm X was a required reading. Sweetback was a required film, and they used the numbers to boost a whole industry when it came to that. So like, there's just so many examples of us doing this throughout the years.
And I think that's the point. I think that's a good way to kind of end this episode, as far as following the money, and the solidarity of it all, and again, really, really understanding and seeing the fact that we are all we have, because as you see, there are elected officials, the politicians, the power that be, they're going to help each other. They're going to give the mega corporations the tax breaks. They're not going to give the people the tax breaks. They're going to give the mega corporations and banks the bailouts. They're not going to give the people the bailouts. They're not going to help the people. The people have to help the people. We all we got, but it's enough.
There you go. At the same time, we better be out here fighting for where our tax dollars are going if we're paying taxes.
That part too. That's how we can help ourselves.
Yeah. Appreciate you letting us stay past 9 o'clock agreed upon hours, 9:03 right now. We're going to let you guys go. We appreciate everybody that joined us and stuck around. We appreciate our guest, Tamika Mease, showing up. Buddy, you got some words for the people before we get out of here?
Man, thank you. Thank you to everybody for tuning in, joining the conversation, as always, letting your mind be free. More importantly, letting your voice be heard. Hopefully we did, more good than bad, caused more clarity than confusion. And big shout out to Sister Tamika, man. Thank you for all the work that you're doing, helping, man, the real work, as you say, that is your ministry. And I think we all have our own ministry, man. So hopefully the work that you're called to do, and you're doing it. And if you don't, go on the mission. Try to find out what that is, because I am a believer that we all are here to do a mission, to do some work. And let's just try to figure out what that is and support each other in that. In the meantime, between time, catch the same time, same place, right here where we do our work. First Sky Omaha in the morning, Paul.
In the morning.
Hey, in the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
Man, just want to remind everybody, of course, First Fridays in the Village is coming 24th and Lake. This is happening February 6th. Go ahead and get your hit that QR code and pay your cover fee and come through and check out some great music, art exhibits, man, trivia, movie night, live music, black-owned vendors. It's going down from 5:30 to 9:30 on 24th and Lake. The Deuce and a Quarter, they used to call it back in the day, February 6th. Going down on First Friday. Of course, we got First Fridays in Benson as well. And I realized that I put up a old flyer last time, so I got to get the new flyer for that. But shout out to us doing First Fridays in the Village here with Empowerment Network in a big, big way. Also, don't forget about the events that are coming up here February 3rd, tomorrow, Tuesday. It's the Omaha Inland Port Authority Proposal Innovation District Plan Reveal is happening tomorrow from 6 to 8. We've been looking forward to this. Shout out to Terrell McKinney for putting this out. Senator Terrell McKinney, put some respect on his name. Definitely check this out. It's going to be at Metro Community College, Building 21. We'll put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha so you can get some more information on that as well. Shout out DJ Mr. Soul having an exclusive interview with Michaela Danner, who's running for Douglas County Attorney and try to get replace Don Klein in this race. This is happening. Shaka Klein. This is happening at 3:30 today on 87.9. Definitely check out 87.9 The Culture. You can get it on an app. You can go to their website. But hear the show, man. Check out the Mr. Soul Show. Shout out to him for doing this in a big, big way. Also, with our contest, we have a couple of movies, tickets to give away. Shout out to our partners over at Film Streams Now. Dry Longzo is playing on February 19th. And if you want tickets to go see that, then you got three things to do. Go over to our YouTube page, like and subscribe, and then hit us up, email firstsky.omaha@gmail.com. Let us know you want tickets for that. Or if you want tickets for this one, this is Straight No Chaser, the film about Thelonious Monk, famed jazz artist. They got two showings here, February 7th coming up here, and then Wednesday, February 11th. Tickets, we got free tickets for that as well. Go to YouTube, like, subscribe, and then send us an email that says you want tickets for this at First Sky Omaha @gmail.com. And we'll pick out of the group of people that do that a random selection of people who will win those tickets there. So we appreciate that very much. Also, speaking of film streams tonight, definitely check this out. This is going to be a very powerful film as well, Aftershock. This is part of the Omaha Checkup. This is going down at the Ruth Sokoloff Theater tonight at 6:30. And there'll be people from UNMC there, some experts there talking about women's health. When Black mother dies, there is a ripple effect in a big way. Definitely check this out and ask questions and have stay around for the talk back. And you can go check it out. I believe it's a free showing as well. Just go to Film Streams and register. Let them know how many people are going to show up. But it will be free tonight, February 2nd at 6:30 at the Ruth Sokoloff Theater. That's the one in North Downtown over there by the Slowdown. Definitely check this out as well. I appreciate that very much. Also, shout out to IB Black Girl, who's doing the Legislative Day, March 4th. I'm sorry, I should have done all these earlier. I'm moving past because I need to get these out for sure. But the Legislative Day that's happening March 4th from 9 to 2. Get a hold of them. Go to IB Black Girl's website and get more information on this. This seems very, very interesting. I think they're taking a group of people up to Lincoln, and they're going to run them through a legislative day to see how it works, see what you do on the floor, talk to some folks, talk to some senators, and so on and so forth at the Nebraska State Capitol in Lincoln. So shout out to them for doing this, and hit them up, let them know what's happening there for sure. With that, we're going to go ahead and get out of here now. Like I said, I appreciate you guys letting me talk about some of these shows and things that are coming up. I was trying to spare enough time at the end for the haps, but hey, we got to go a little bit over for that. But hey, there's things going on this week. We can set our intentions this week for the things that we're going to engage in and do. And we appreciate that very much. Carol Blood will be joining us on Friday. We talked to her recently. She's going to be running for OPPD board. So we'll be talking to her. Yeah, we got a lot of questions there on that tip. Yeah. Stay tuned for that and other special.
You should bring some wings.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, when last time we had Senator Carol Blood on, put some respect on her name, we asked her what her favorite spot in Omaha was for wings. She said, my house.
All right. Hey, you got the recipe.
Put your money where your mouth is. I want to hear about this for real. I appreciate you. RG says North Omaha Book Club is in full effect. Saturday mornings at the Essential Gathering Place this month. Right on, man.
Hey.
Appreciate that. Yeah. We'll bring some more information on that. I think I saw a flyer on Friends of, so
Really?
we'll put that back on Friends of, and definitely hit that up. Love that.
He says the book this month is Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGroy. Okay,
Come on with
okay,
it, bro.
bringing it. Okay.
Stacey Jean says, "Have a great day, everyone. Appreciate
Hey.
that." Pop says, "Thanks for another awesome show and great start to the new week. Love you guys and see you on Wednesday." Right on, Pops. Love you
sir.
too.
Thank you.
Alan Faison, what's up, cousin? He said, "Another great show. Appreciate you very much."
Squad.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate everybody that joined us today. Shout out to the Umaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to you, our elders, allowing us to speak before you and also speaking with you, coming on, giving us great advice, great comments. And shout out to you, the chat chimers overall. We appreciate you spreading the word, too. I'm hearing a lot from ghost listeners that the chat chimers are saying, hey, go check the show out. So, yeah, I appreciate that very much. Thank you for everybody that shared the show on your page. And I told a friend and come through to participate here. We appreciate it, man. Tisa Harden says, give us hearts. Appreciate that.
Have a good morning to you.
So thank you so much for that. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad, with the key.
By any